Greetings and welcome to Mrs. Gerst's Moments in Black History. Today we're going to talk about Floyd Norman. Now, this person for today was brought to us by Miss Palladino's class. Though he prefers to be called a cartoonist, few others artists working in animation today can boast a career as varied as that of Floyd Norman. From the 1950s to today, Floyd's diverse career, insightful viewpoint, and unflinching honesty have truly made him a Disney legend. Floyd E. Norman was born on June 22nd, 1935, and he once said, I first recognized Walt Disney's signature before I could read. I would see that famous signature on books and comics, and I asked my grandmother, what is that name? She said, that's Walt Disney. I never forgot that name. I just felt like I wanted to work at the Disney studio one day. When Floyd was in high school, he managed to get a ride to the Disney studio one Saturday morning. The studio was closed, but the security guard took pity on him. He said, I'll never forget entering the gates of the Disney studio and just walking down to the animation building. Floyd recalled, I don't know any Disney artists, but I knew the names because I had seen these names in the screen credits. I didn't get a job, by the way, but they were very encouraging. They suggested that I go to art school. Might be good to learn how to draw, Floyd returned a few years later, and at a time when Disney was not only expanding, it was exploding. Floyd worked as an in-betweener and animator on Sleeping Beauty, The Sword in the Stone, and The Jungle Book, along with various animated short projects at Disney in the late 1950s and early 1960s. After Walt Disney's death in 1966, Floyd left Disney to co-found the Afro Kids Animation Studio with animator and co-director Leo Sullivan. Floyd and Sullivan worked together on various projects, including the original Hey, 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 It's Fat Albert television special, which aired in 1969 on NBC. Some of his credits include Toy Story 2, and Monsters, Inc. for Pixar, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Milan for Disney, among others. He has continued to work for the Walt Disney Company as a consultant on additional projects. Let's hear a little bit more about Mr. Norman.
We continue to celebrate Black History Month with a legendary Floyd Norman, Disney's first Black animator.
He's been making magic for over 6 decades, from Sleeping Beauty to Milan and the Toy Story franchise. Norman tells Jose Sanders that at 86, he's still going strong.
I've been an animator, layout artist, storyboard artist, writer.
There's no one who had worked with Walt Disney and then gone to publications and then ended up at Pixar.
How does it feel now to kind of look back on all you've accomplished over the years?
I've had a wonderful career and a wonderful life because I've been able to do what I wanted to do. I was able to follow my dream.
People have often asked me, how did it feel about being the first African-American at Disney? Well, I wasn't even aware that I was an African-American. I was another artist looking for a job.
No, you don't want to let anything get in the way. And I'm very grateful as an African American, the fact that race was never looked upon as an obstacle.
I was told as a kid, hey kid, well, you can't get a job with the Disney studio, they don't hire blacks. I don't know, people just assume that. And because I want to do it, I just went there and applied for a job, and I got it.
I see so many people of color coming into the animation business. That was not a thing when we were kids. You could literally count the number of black artists working in the animation industry. There were so few of us, you knew every one of them.
The acclaimed film Floyd Norman, An Animated Life, is now streaming on the Criterion Channel. You can also see what the artist and his partners did after founding Vignette Films, one of the first black production companies.
Their works included Black history films. They created the original animated logo for Soul Train.
Can you give us a groovy locomotive, to open our show? And they said, we need this in a couple of days. Like, you guys have got to be crazy.
Now he's upstairs with Walt Disney, and they're asking him to do the hardest thing of all, which is be funny. Come on, Floyd, be funny.
Every time there's a great moment in animation, look around, there's Floyd Norman.
The kid's good.
What words of wisdom do you have for people who may want to follow in your footsteps?
You've got to be passionate about what you do. You've got to love what you do. I mean, what's the point in doing a job if you don't love it? I loved every minute of it.
What's the life you live, one frame at a time?
I hope you've learned something new. What a wonderful person. If you are interested in any type of art, I encourage you to study Mr. Floyd Norman a little bit more. I hope you have a wonderful day.